everyone, and welcome to this interview by the Insurance Times. We are a 46-year-old insurance publications. So this was launched in 1981. And we are here at the Guidewire DevSummit 2026 in Bengaluru, where thousands of developers, insurance technology partners, and even a lot of innovators have gathered here to discuss upon the future of insurance technology. So today I have with us our esteemed guests, Mohammed Anzy, the Vice President and Managing Director of Guidewire Software, and of course Mr. Diego Devalle, the Chief Product Development Officer at Guidewire Software. So thank you for being here today with us.
Sure.
So firstly, Diego, I'd like to start with you. So what do you think is the most wonderful thing that has stood out for you from the beginning of the summit today?
The special things of this place is the energy. So it's always the energy. It's like, I think the world now is going to a direction in which technology is enabling innovation to happen anywhere. Is this beautiful thing. But energy, I think, is a signature of India. And so this morning was great. And the energy is always the number one thing here.
Definitely. So I thought that Guidewire works with insurers across global markets. And what are the biggest technology transformation themes that you currently see which are shaping the property and casualty insurance industry currently?
But the Guidewire has been, you said your publication is 46 years old. Guidewire is 26 years old. Depending when you count, maybe 27, maybe 25, because the startup is always difficult too. But we've been in business for 26 years, and we are probably the larger vendor in the industry. So we've been constantly innovating and constantly enabling our customer across our three main products, specifically claims, policy, and billing. And what we've seen across the last few years is being like the opportunity that the cloud transformation enable is that it gives an opportunity to all our customers to be on the latest release possible. So that has been probably the number one innovation that our customers start to sort of take advantage of. One thing is to kind of run a solution that is, you get this feeling when you buy a phone. You buy a phone, it's new the day you buy it, and then 3 days later it's already old. With software on the cloud, the beauty is that you can be in a situation in which you buy it, and it is constantly the latest and greatest. And so we think that it creates an opportunity for our market that was unprecedented before.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that wonderful insight. So I'll just go on to you, Anzy. So what do you think about the Guidewire DevSummit and how it has brought so many people, especially the developers, innovators in Bangalore? And how does this event represent Guidewire globally? And how does it actually stand out for you guys?
Yeah, I think the Guidewire DevSummit is, I would say, the largest learning platform in the insurtech industry. I would say I will take that credit. I don't think there are any similar platform where we bring together developers across multiple continents and then take them through a structured learning journey, because learning is going to be very, very crucial time that we are living in, because the tools are changing, the tech is changing, and embracing the technology is going to be the clear differentiator when you really want to scale. So from that perspective, development, the Guidewire DevSummit has a very key role to play in the insurance ecosystem. And for us, I think the way we believe is the fact that insurance industry is at the brink of large-scale technology adoption, and Guidewire being at the center of that, we really wanted to make sure that our partners, our technology partners, our ecosystem partners are all scaled up to that challenge. I think that's where the Guidewire DevSummit plays a very, very key role.
Yes. Definitely. And would you like to add upon what he said about technological adoption across the globe and especially in the insurance sector? So what are the challenges and governance challenges you see specifically coming up with technological adoption in the insurance sector?
I think that there is not really a challenge in technology adoption. There is specifically in insurance. There is always a challenge that adopting enterprise system they are costly. are costly to implement, and there is a barrier to sort of get modernized, right? The cost of modernization is always the initial challenge. The customer that have the vision to do that kind of innovation ahead, and then, as I said, with cloud capability, you can, once you do that innovation, you can stay current. That is going to be a differentiator. And we've been seeing that all the customers that made that choice earlier on, that choice is paying up dividend right now. They start to be more competitive, and they start to be in a position that is very different than the competition that has been kind of lagging behind. And just to come back on Anzy's point, we're really proud of this event. There are 3,000 developers joining across the few days. And it's very unique because normally you go to a conference like this, and you don't have in the conference opportunity to learn. You have an opportunity to sort of sit in front of a presentation, and clearly you learn something on that, but it's not like working with your own computer and kind of, so developer gets attracted to this event because it's more an event created for developers. Developer likes to sort of develop and likes to have the hands-on, and so we fought a lot on how to do it, and we've been very successful last year. Hopefully this year is going to be equally successful. The feedback were very positive last year, where they can come and learn with hands-on experience. So that, I think, is what is making this event unique.
So I think that's a great thing from your side with Guidewire actually launching this summit. So you've talked about a lot of the hands-on training which the developers and the innovators are getting here. So would you care to dive a bit deeper on what are those experiences that they are having, or what are the sessions that they would be attending in this summit which can actually stand out for the developers a lot more and help them to sort of implicate that into their workings?
Yeah, so what we have launched last year is a set of new capability on the platform. And so what we have decided to do was to create hands-on on this new capability, right? Most of the developer, maybe they're working on some project right now that don't have yet access to those capabilities. And what is very frustrating for developers is that they don't have visibility on the new stuff. And so when we create this event, we said, okay, let's use this as an opportunity to showcase the new capability, to enable the developer to play with the new capability, and then we wrap all this into a final session with all the learning to be put together into a specific use case. So in this specific, this year we have 9 new capabilities, so we have break down the learning path across those 9 new capabilities. Every session is like 1 hour long. The developer takes 3, and after they take those 3, they can graduate into a final session where they put all that skills together to do a specific project that is going to give them a little bit of certification. And also, we hope, some excitement about what is new. So when they go back into their project, they could kind of look forward of those new capabilities are coming and hopefully get excited about the journey ahead.
Yeah. I think definitely the implementation sort of approach to this is a lot better than actually just going through the theory or sessions which are just taken by speakers. So would you like to throw a bit more light on what makes India such a important engineering and innovation hub for Guidewire? Because you're hosting this in Bangalore.
I would leave it to
Sure.
I mean, Anzy,
you can repeat that question because then it will count.
You're hosting this in Bangalore, and India's teams are actually building this. Guidewire's team is building all of these products for different markets and different countries. If I'm correct, it's more than 50 countries that you're associated with, correct?
Yes. So personally, I was living in India many years ago, and then we were working together in a sort of previous life in different companies. And then a few years ago, when Guidewire started to be on this journey of transformation and growth, the natural thinking was we should open up a dev center in Bangalore. And we made a decision in 2020, and we start building this location in 2021. And today it is the largest development center of Guidewire. I go back to my initial point. What makes this special is the energy, is the willingness to people to learn, is also the willingness to sort of the courage to make mistakes and fix them, right? this is an industry in which the shortest the cycle in building something, deploying something, learn something, and redeploy. And I think India has this kind of energy and capability to sort of learn fast, fail, and improve. And that's very unique into the location here. Last year, we moved into our new office, and you can talk a little bit about how that changed everything from being in a proper location with all kind of design that you guys put together.
Yeah, probably, I think, I would start one step backwards. The fundamental premise is that Bangalore is where you get the talent really fast, right? I mean, for us, the speed at which we could hire talent is an extremely important consideration. So that's why, from Diago's experience, our experience, we said Bangalore is where we should focus on. The second aspect is we are scaling. We grew from almost 200 to now almost 600 employees in India. So this gave us little bit of scale, and this gave us little bit of opportunity to move into a completely new design office. And this was designed in a manner in which we put an extreme focus on our employees. And sustainability was also, we kind of reused a lot of materials and kind of, and it's a LEED Platinum certified space. The core belief was that, especially in the context that we are living in, there is a very strong importance in terms of coming together, being there, and having conversations and learning from each other, which is an extremely important stuff, because the pace at which technology moves at this time is very, very fast, right? So there is a very strong focus in terms of coming together, and that's why we have designed the new office with more collaboration spaces where people could whiteboard and design things. And the idea was that we should, when they spend time in our office, should inspire them to think more, do more, and dream more. I think that was the premise on which we designed that experience.
But also, what is important is that we made the decision from the very beginning that each one of the labs that Guidewire has a level of independence. We wanted to have the team here building something independently and push it to production. And so I think that when you do that, then you empower the local team, and in return, you can get excitement and people get, I would say, engaged in a slightly different way, right? So if you combine all this with energy, with a new office, with the opportunity and the growth of Guidewire, you get the right recipe. And I think we have the right recipe here.
I think the energy you're talking about, and I can see a lot of energy here surrounding the topic of artificial intelligence. So coming to that, what do you think from Guidewire's perspective? What are the things where insurers are moving beyond experimentation, and it's actually the insurance industry is seeing a real business impact from the use or adoption of artificial intelligence?
Yeah, I think in general, I would say there are two categories. One category of artificial intelligence is creating some efficiency, and we have been working on a lot of deliverables to sort of improve the efficiency across the existing processes. And then there is a second category of things that we can do now that were not possible to do before. And this, for the team and for the engineering team, is more exciting. I'll give you a specific example. A big portion of money spent by insurance and carrier is on what is called underwriting. The underwriting is a process that predominantly is done on unstructured content, where an underwriter receives a set of documents that he needs to sort of parse in his own brain and figure out, based on those documents, if he wants to underwrite or not that specific risk, and if he wants to take that risk and eventually write a policy against it. Gen AI offers an opportunity to do that in a completely different way, where all that work that was historically done manually by a human being can now be prepared with the help of Gen AI and open up doors that were simply impossible to do before. So again, two categories. One category is efficiency, and one category is to tackle problems that were not possible before. And that second category is very exciting.
So I love the point about where insurers have vast amounts of unstructured data. So can we dive a bit more deeper into this, and how close are actually the insurers or the insurtech companies to actually sorting that or unlocking the potential from using AI to actually using that unstructured data to have an impact?
We have a solution coming up in 2 months now. It's going to be in early access. It's called Underwriting Center. That is exactly enabling that.
Okay.
The solution, in short, is you can the underwriter can take all the document that he received, dump them into an email, and few minutes later, what he gets back is a profile of the risk, is a summarization of the product that needs to be underwritten, and potentially is a triage, and is a all the initial steps come to just a click away and saying, okay, do you want to quote this and generate a quote? And all that is supported through an entire agentic framework that, as I said before, it was impossible to do. We have a product coming up in a couple of months, and we're really looking forward for the initial adoption.
That's great. Anzy, would you like to tell us more about how the new product, which he talked about with agentic
That's Yukti.
AI, and how it connects with the whole network with cloud data and the agentic AI systems which are there?
So again, the product is coming in a couple of months. It is built on top of the agentic framework of Guidewire, and is leveraging the cloud data platform of Guidewire, and is leveraging the data, all the different pieces of the infrastructure. Cannot tell you too much because a big launch will happen in a few months. But I can tell you that a month ago we had an event like this, not for developer but for customer in Europe, in Brussels, and we had 15 underwriters that, after signing some special document of no compete and so on, they were able to play with the system for a couple of hours, and they were impressed. And they were saying, oh, if this tool will become available tomorrow, that's what we want to use. So we're excited about the future.
So I think talking about the tools, would you see any of the particular skills coming up which these developers or the people working in these organizations must have in order to succeed in this insurtech or insurance sector as a whole? Are there any particular skills that they should have or they can learn about?
No, I don't think that you need particular skills for insurance different than others. In general, as an engineer, you need to be curious. You need to be curious, and you need to be willing to do something and redo it the next day, right?
Yes.
When you grow up, you played Lego. There were the type of people that were building something with Lego and then looking at it forever. And then there were the type of people that were building something in Lego, and then as soon as they build it, tear it down and build it again. So what we want, especially in this upcoming future, we want to have people that are builders, that they like to build, tear it down, and build it again, and build it again, build it again. Because now there is a technology that will enable you to rebuild it quicker, and so you can experiment faster, you can fail faster, and come back with a solution even more efficiently later on. So I think having the right level of people with the right curiosity and the right intensity is what will make them successful at the end.
And of course, the energy that comes
Yeah,
with
and
it.
it goes back to the energy, and it comes back to why we're here.
Yeah, definitely. So just talking a bit more about the technologies. So the legacy core systems which are there continue to be a major challenges which we see across institutions. So in practical terms, does legacy, what do you think what legacy means? And why is modernization becoming so difficult related to this space?
But because in this day and age, you needed to have a modern system to interact with all these agentic capability. If you don't have a modern system, you are going to be limited by what you can do. You can still apply a little bit of agentic capability on top of your system, but it's just scratching the top of the iceberg. You're not really taking full advantage. So Guidewire has a double strategy, and the strategy of trying to modernize every existing customer and non-customer to move from legacy system into Guidewire. We've invested a lot of energy and in solution to move customer from legacy solution into Guidewire. And then in parallel, we have the secondary kind of investment that is in modernizing even our solution So as I said, coming with native product, native Gen AI native product that add those capabilities to solve problems that were not solvable before.
And more on the product side on this. So, are there any misconceptions regarding these products or organizations which they have about this AI adoption or the agentic solutions that we have? Are there any misconceptions related to this in this sector?
I would not say misconception. I think that what we're seeing so far is a lot of adoption in development. And when I say development, I don't mean just by the developer. I mean in non-production environment, our customers are experimenting with a widely set of things. And through that experimentation, there are some scenarios that works better than others. There is always the talk about AI hallucination and how things work efficiently or not. So we're seeing a wide adoption at the non-production environment. We are seeing so far a little bit more cautiousness into the production environment. Insurance is in a financial sector that is being historically very, I would say, cautious in adopting new technology. So I would say what we're seeing so far is huge interest in non-production, experimenting with a wide range of possibility. But then we're seeing a different speed in pushing those capabilities into production. I think it's going to come a little bit later during the next year. But until today, if I have to pick something that is unique for insurance, is that the adoption in production is not exactly at the same pace as the adoption in non-production.
Also, this adoption that we're talking about, does it also have an impact from the regulations and the compliances which are actually guarding the sector?
Yes, but the regulation, so in general, insurance is heavily regulated, and everything that we build has to comply with regulation, and different market, different regulation, and creates a sort of complexity in our deliverable, making sure that our software release include those regulation capabilities. When we go Gen AI specific, we have not seen yet hard regulation. For example, we have a capability to interact, the Guidewire platform can interact with different model. And we have not seen yet things like in country X, you cannot use model Y. But we expect that this is just because it's very early in the process. I'm expecting that we will see some heavy regulation in the way that we're using Gen AI in context with insurance, but we have not seen that. Typically, regulators are ways lower than technology, so I think they're a little bit behind.
Sure. And Anzy, what do you think about the ecosystem collaboration, which Mr. Diego talked about? So between the tech firms, the startups, and of course the regulators, and what are some of the key areas where the collaboration actually comes into place and has an impact on the sector?
I think I can give you from an India perspective.
Yes.
There's a very strong collaboration model exists in India. Especially there are platforms which are coming like ONGC, Open Network for Commerce, where the government acts as a facilitator, enabler, and bringing together large organizations and technology together, and then having those transactions together. So, from an India perspective, there is so much happening. But as I said, as Diego mentioned, that regulations are sometimes very tough to go through, right? I think in the India context, if you really need to bring out an insurance product, because a long process of approval, right? It typically takes 12 to 13 months to really bring out a product. So I think that's something that kind of pushing us back, but then especially from a larger perspective, there is so much of innovation happening now. And the regulators are coming back to the industry seeking suggestions in terms of how do we improvise the process, how do we simplify that. So there are conversations happening, and I'm completely bullish on the potential that India has.
And what do you think about the training institutes and actually at a very grassroots level, if we talk about the students which are actually there, and they're talking about insurance, but there are no specific courses in India, specifically in insurance, or what do you think about the training programs or certifications which are there for these students, and how it can have an impact on?
I do agree with you that there is a bit of I would say there is lack of structured training content around insurance. So there is always this feeling that insurance is heavily regulated. This is an industry where innovations are not happening, which is absolutely not true, right? Yes, definitely it's regulated, but there are large scale innovations happening in insurance, and especially from a Guidewire perspective, we are at the forefront of those innovations. In India, what we are trying to do is that we are partnering with some of the universities. We already have a partnership with 5 universities, which we have launched in the last DevSummit. And the idea was that the tech, which is powering the insurance, is an elective in this university. The first batch of students passed out last month. We have almost 80 students, which actually went through a rigorous program for 6 months, which covers the basics of insurance and how we build applications and each of what are the regulatory concerns that we need to really look at it. So the idea is that we really wanted to scale this largely to a 35 universities, that we kind of look at almost 2,000, 3,000 students getting trained on this. We just started. And we are also partnering with National Insurance Academy, NIA, big scale. Especially we actually started a hackathon. Finale would be
definitely.
So there almost 18,000 students participated. Right? So again, it's a collective journey. We are looking at bringing firepower from all the different entities and kind of infuse the insurance knowledge across the ecosystem. Is something that we are trying to do.
I think that's a great initiative from your part, and actually developing the university, which is a huge need for the Indian market, as I can see. So would you like to talk a bit more about the dev trails? I think you both can talk a bit. The hackathon which is happening today at the summit. So we'd love to know more about what the hackathon is about and what will be some of the things that the developers will be doing in that.
This is the baby of Anzy. The dev trails and the idea and everything was part of, when we came up with this approach to do DevSummit as a learning and as an opportunity. Then Anzy kind of said, okay, but if we can combine 2 aspects, learning for our partners and the ecosystem is one thing, but we can also leverage the school, the program, and create that as a sort of a combination of opportunity for younger talent, but also an opportunity to have this perception that in insurance innovation is not there, and so to change a little bit of perception around insurance not fun, there is no innovation around, and so that's what we started last year, but then as Andy said, last year we also launched this program partnered with university that we didn't have at the beginning of the dev trail. So now it's year 2. We have the partnership with the university, and this combined with this leveraging this event to sort of give it a platform is an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, I think we have there is a very strong demand for Guidewire skills in the market, and there is India being talent market. I would say there was an explicit need for people who are trained in insurance and insurance technology. That's why we partnered with the universities. The dev trail, as Diego mentioned, the larger mandate was also to get more students get plugged into our ecosystem, and that's something that we started last year. We had almost 3,000 students participate this time. It's almost 6 times 18,000 students participate.
Yes, that's actually really wonderful to hear all of that. And I'd also like to delve more into the topic of building beyond, because we can see that it's a huge theme for the summit. So I'd love to know what that's about and how it's impacting your organization at a larger scale.
Yeah, so the building beyond is because we think that the opportunity is now, meaning we made great progress on the platform in combination with Gen AI. Now the platform in combination with Gen AI with a larger community of partners. Now you combine all this, right? You have a large community of partners. This event is now 3,000 people, but it can only happen because of the partner community, and the partner community heavily bought in the idea of a conference like this because of the opportunity of learning. So all that is a sort of, how to say, self-fulfilling proposition into which the platform, the community, the Gen AI and so on, we can do more. And that's how the building beyond kind of started from, right? Exciting time, I think, is a begin, especially in India, where if you we bring all this full circle, the vast majority of there was an untapped large community of developers in India that didn't have the opportunity to play with a new platform, right? They were maybe kind of not exposed as much as now they have this opportunity. So we wanted to combine all this, and we want to take this as an opportunity to go beyond, and hopefully we'll see what the feedback is in a couple of days, if it was indeed beyond or not much.
I think that was great. So I'll just leave it open to you guys if you wanted to share anything else that I've just missed on my part. So you can just share.
Thanks for your time. I think thanks for your time. Thanks for doing that, and nice meeting you.
It was great having you both here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.